Hi guys, my name is Alan, and today we're going to be looking at a short clip from an episode of Friends. Now this is from season 1, episode 3. And of course you guys probably know Friends is a little bit old at this point, but there are still a lot of useful expressions, slang, vocabulary that you can learn from Friends, and you can use that in your daily life, especially if you're living in America or Canada. So let's take a look at that scene first and then analyze it after. So here we go.
Should I let them meet him? I mean, I bring a guy home, and within 5 minutes, they're all over him. I mean, they're like coyotes picking off the weak members of the herd.
Listen, as someone who's seen more than her share of bad beef, I'll tell you, that is not such a terrible thing. Come on now, they're your friends. They're just looking out after you.
I just wish that once I'd bring a guy home they actually liked.
Well, you do realize that the odds of that happening are a little slimmer if they never get to meet the guy.
I know. Do you mind if I whimper a little bit?
Whimper.
Okay, I'm done.
Alright guys, how was it? Was it pretty funny? I hope so. Like I said before, it's a little bit old, but I think it's still pretty good. Now, of course, you can understand that in this scene, Monica wants to bring her new boyfriend back to meet her friends, right? But she's kind of nervous. And she's nervous because she's worried that her friends are not going to like her new boyfriend. And her new boyfriend's name is Alan, just like my name. Ooh. Anyhow, guys, now the first expression I want to look at here is in the very first sentence. Monica said that she's worried her friends are going to pick him off, right? So that's the first expression we're going to look at, is to pick off. What could that mean? So now, of course, you guys know pick, right? Everybody knows pick, like to choose something, right? But to pick off can mean to remove somebody, usually through hunting, right? Now, of course, the reason why she's using this expression here is because she's worried that her friends are going to pick off her new boyfriend, like he's some kind of animal or something like that, right? So this expression, a little bit confusing and a little bit useful. Some people still use it. But yeah, you can use this as well if you want in your daily life. Okay, let's take a look at the next one.
I mean, they're like coyotes picking off the weak members of the herd.
Listen, as someone who's seen more than her share of bad beef, I'll tell you, that is not such a terrible thing.
Alright guys, now after that first sentence, when Paula responds to Monica, Paula uses this kind of difficult grammatical expression. She says, as someone who has seen her fair share of beef. Okay, now that expression is a little bit hard to use as someone who has done something, so you have to use the past participle here. Now, we use this expression when we want to show the person who's listening that we have a lot of life experience with this thing. Now, for example, I've been a teacher for a long time, right? So if I'm going to use this expression here, I could say to someone, as someone who has taught many students, right? Or imagine maybe you have studied English for a long time and you want to give your friend some advice about studying English. You could say to your friend, as someone who has been studying English for a long time, blah, 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 right? So now the reason why Paula is using this expression is because she wants to show to Monica that she's had a lot of experience dating people in the past, so she can give Monica good advice, right? So remember, if you want to show someone that you've had a lot of experience doing something, you could use as someone who has done something. Like in my case, of course, because I'm a teacher, as someone who has taught many students or many classes, etc., etc. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at another expression, though.
As someone who's seen more than her share of bad beef, I'll tell you, that is not such a terrible thing. Come on now, they're your friends. They're just looking out after you.
All right, guys, and later in the scene, Paula said to Monica, your friends are just trying to look out after you. They're just looking out after you, right? Now, of course, you guys know a lot of expressions or phrasal verbs using look, and this is kind of similar to like take care of, right? if somebody looks after you, they're kind of taking care of you, or we could say they're protecting you, they're guarding you, right? So Paula's trying to say to Monica, you know, don't worry about it. Your friends are trying to look out after you, right? So if I say to you, like, hey, don't worry, I'm going to look out after you. What I'm trying to tell you is that I'm going to try to protect you, try to guard you, right? And I'm sure when you were younger, your parents looked out after you, or maybe your grandpa, your grandma, or a good friend of yours, right? So pretty useful expression, to look out after somebody. All right, guys, let's take a look at the next scene.
Come on now, though. Your friends are just looking out after you.
I just wish that once I'd bring a guy home they actually liked.
Well, you do realize that the odds of that happening are a little slimmer if they never get to meet the guy.
No, I know. Do you mind if I whimper a little bit?
Whimper.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, guys, and we also got 3 words that I want to take a look at. And those words are odds, slim, and whimper. Now, most likely you guys probably already know slim. But the term odds here, now Paula said that the odds of that happening are. Now, when we use the expression odds, what we're saying are the chances, right? The likelihood. So when we're gambling or we're making a bet on something happening in the future, if we say the odds are good, then the chance is very high. Like, of course, I don't know, living in Vancouver, British Columbia, we could say, for example, the odds are it's going to rain tomorrow. And it usually does rain, right? So yeah, we could use the term odds. Now, she said the odds are very slim, or they're slimmer. Now, you guys probably already know that slim can mean kind of like thin, right? Like if somebody's slim, they're very thin. I'm not very slim right now. Ha ha. Anyhow, so yeah, she said the odds are slim, very thin, or they're very small, right? And lastly, we have the term whimper. Now, whimper is more like a sound. It is kind of like a sound that a dog makes, right? And it's a sound that a dog makes when a dog is sad, or an animal makes when they're sad. They kind of go, sorry if that sounds disgusting to you. I feel terrible now. But anyhow, yeah, to whimper, to kind of cry or make a moaning sound, kind of like a dog, right? Okay, guys, so just to quickly recap, these are the 3 words, odds, slim, and whimper, and the 3 expressions, pick off as someone who has done something and to look out after. I hope you learned a lot today. And remember, if you want to check out Friends or any other TV show, I highly recommend rewatching scenes many times, because you're going to pick up a lot of good vocabulary and a lot of good expressions, right? But you can't just watch the scene once. You got to go through it multiple times. You'll pick up things, a lot of things you don't know. You know, take a look. You'll find out the meaning is really, really useful. Anyhow, guys, I hope to check you guys out next time, and I hope you learned a lot.